another Stevie Night session here because he says music is powerful, and just like all captions, captions got me to click it. I need to see what he's talking about real quick. If it ain't music, I'll probably end out of it. But let's see. Is it something music? Will we agree to disagree? I see the face too. The face looks like he's disappointed in that song. So we're gonna see what homies joint is on, man. This will probably be my last little Stevie Night run though too. Let's see.
What up? What up? What up, Night Nation?
This might be an agree. We might agree today.
About to get on one of these things. You feel me? What's good with the watch? Night watch, man. Doing something a little different today. Well, I mean, not really different, bro, because we remaining on the topic, man. And then, if y'all are, tired of me addressing life and prioritizing what's important, and I apologize. Come back when we back into the thick of music or whatever the hell it is you need for entertainment, man. But life is lifing right now, man, and we need to focus on what's more important. You know what I mean? And it's going on, dog. And I got a platform to talk about this, give people a space to speak about this shit, and I'm going to continue doing it. You know what I mean? And speaking of that, nothing negative today, bro. Nothing negative today.
Shit, I wasn't able to tell right now, brother. I wasn't able to tell, B. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell, dog.
Man, with that, man, it may seem like I've been getting hit with the negativity or whatnot, man, but that couldn't be
you just standing on what you believe in, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like just like everybody else, man. But we can't be out here generalizing. That's all I'm gonna say. We can't be out here just generalizing because we feeling how we feel. We all make the mistake though. You know what I mean? We all gotta just own those sometimes too. But we'll see. Today I got the cowboy hat on. I might be on some bullshit. I might be on the bullshit today. I don't know. We got different hats on today.
Furthest from the truth, man.
But I'm feeling the energy right now. I'm feeling the energy. It feels good. It feels good right now. It says music is powerful. And I agree. Music is powerful. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. I know a lot of the Stevie fans that have watched my last few Stevie videos have definitely been a little upset with my takes as if I insulted Stevie, came at Stevie, using Stevie for clicks when, dog, I did Stevie way before when I said dudes is beefing. So it goes back to like you can check the timeline for that. Like I've been screaming like dudes need to just be together and be positive. So y'all comments ain't bothering me, dog. They actually making me real. They actually making me laugh. They making me laugh the whole way because I just know nobody listens. We just being moist out here. We being chocolate cake moist. But back to Stevie though.
And the majority of the feedback I've gotten since I've been giving my thoughts on, Ariana or the Kirk situation, or just the majority of it has all been positive, man. But it's just you can't ignore.
It's positive, and I will agree with that. It's definitely positive. But the way the messages are delivered are very important. It's not saying that you was bad with your message, but you can see how people would disagree with it. And then because people disagree, you're saying that, most people are stuck in mentalities or whatever the case may be. It's like, just because somebody disagrees doesn't mean that they don't believe in things that you're saying. They just disagree with how you're saying it or whatever the case may be. So people just gotta stop being moist at the end of the day, and letting things rock out how they rock with these different opinions. That's why we all online with what he said. The platforms. Now, nobody should be irresponsible with their platform and spew hate, but some people will take things that they don't like and won't finish things through. Like you're about to see me here finish things all the way through.
Ignore the evil stuff, bro. And you can't get used to it either, man. Right? Like as twisted as I already knew society to be, I didn't expect it to be as twisted as it is. Right? With this whole Kirk situation, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was
we can see that from both sides, brother.
A little bit, man. To see that amount of vitriol, that amount of evil, that amount of evil, that amount of demonic.
See, I think what seems to be shell shocking to him is the fact that people were celebrating it. It seems that's what I keep hearing is the celebratory part of things, which once again, me and Stevie are in agreement with that. We are in 100% agreement with that. It's the rest of the wording of things which I don't agree with all the way.
Energy. You know what I
But you
mean?
see, the main part is I'm still sub to his channel. I ain't get mad. I ain't say F this dude. I ain't say dude is a coon. I ain't say dude was what he would say Uncle Tom, even though that's not a bad thing. Yeah.
In regards to this whole situation. And it needs to be discussed. It can't be ignored.
Agreed.
And I'm not trying to fan that flame and give it more attention than it needs to have, man. But we still need to talk about it.
I just think the finger
Have a
I just think that the finger pointing and the generalization is where you step wrong in your feelings on things with your belief. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I think if your approach with the platform you had was, the message was more humanity, then that's cool. But I think your message, and this is me personally listening, but I guess, some people might think I'm listening to the, 30-second clips or whatever, or your Instagram posts and stuff. But to me, it just feels like, you are focused on 2 points and you're sticking with that, and that's fine. But we have to open up our lens and open up our eyes on other things. And you're also pointing on two different, like, your angle is that it's left and that it's right, and my point is that none of it's right, and that we need to stop playing the right and the left game. But your angle is fitting the narrative that you're saying that we're trying to defeat, which the narrative is that they both want us to be doing this shit at the end of the day. It's not a victim mentality. It's not fairy tale land. I think in my reality, I think it's both, because they both pin us against each other. Isn't that the whole point of why we always say we want to be together and be unified, but we keep being divided by these parties? Doesn't justify the man's death, which that's what your point is, and I agree with that. But there's also another side of that, which is like we're all playing this game that we don't know the rules to, but everybody thinks they know the rules because of their beliefs and their opinions. And we need to just really unify together and stop talking about this left, right, black, white, red, blue bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
space to talk about it and, separate us from them. Right. But today, positivity, man. And thank you all for all the positivity you've been throwing your boys' way in regards to all this shit, man. You know what I mean? Just real life shit, dog.
Because I know we'll probably never cross paths or really ever talk on this platform. Because like I said to somebody, because somebody said something about, oh yeah, it'd be great to see you with Steve. I'm like, yo, Stevie ain't trying to talk to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Stevie got 1 million subs, I got 10. You know what I'm saying? 10,000. Yeah, 10,000 and counting or going down depending on who's mad about what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But like, niggas lose subscribers every day, B. So that's not really the main problem. But me and Stevie will probably never ever have that type of conversation, because I say it like this in rap. He's on his Jay-Z where he's, up there, well, knowing I'm on my Jim Jones shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm on, I'm Jay-Z. Who's fucking BITO'S, my nigga? Like, it's one of those things, but I'm cool with doing this because I ain't shitting on the man's shit. I'm just disagreeing with certain things while I'm agreeing. And I'm also, if I disagree, I didn't be like, oh, I'm a rage quit and stuff like that, because I'm just doing this by example of like how we all need to come together despite whatever our opinions are. Because it's not even differences, too. It's just opinions. But we all want the same end game, which is the best for humanity and everybody together as a whole. We just keep categorizing too much.
But I wanted to share with y'all a message that I got on Instagram in the mix of all this shit, man. So I'm just going to read it to y'all and, get my thoughts after. All right. It says, this might be a long message, but I hope you'll take the time to read it. I'm a middle-aged white woman who lost my husband, the man I'd been with since I was 16, to suicide. I was the one who found him, and ever since I've struggled just to get through the day. Everything reminded me of him, and I needed something, anything, to distract my mind and give me a space where grief didn't follow so closely behind. I watched Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show. I didn't know a single song, but something about his performance drew me in. I started researching him, and from there I fell down a rabbit hole. Kendrick, Drake, their beef, and then the world of hip-hop reaction videos. And that's so ironic, bro, because the way certain parts of social media will run it, white folks were so put off by Kendrick Lamar. At least that's the narrative I saw on my feed quite a bit. And there may have been some, but I guarantee.
I will say everybody got different algorithms, and that's another problem. A part of this game is that everybody's algorithms different, so you're getting fed what you're most likely supporting or stand by or whatever. Like with all jokes aside, like my feed is full of booty and shit. Sometimes what I'm saying it's mix of everything. Like it's a mix of politics, ass, what I'm saying, music. I mean, all of that. Like my feed's crazy, but like that goes to show how the algorithm works. So if you lean a specific way, like they're gonna feed you that. If you lean the other way, they're gonna feed you that. Like me, I don't lean anyway, so I literally get all of that shit. You know what I mean? That's why I just kind of laugh at like the WWE promos and like the we're gonna do this every time. Like I'm gonna put my eyes right here in the camera and do the celebrating shit, but then get mad when motherfuckers be like, "Oh, you're fired," and then the people that are like, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for civil war," because everybody's doing the bullshit. So.
Guarantee you, the majority of people enjoy that
all
shit.
about the algorithms too.
When it's viral,
algorithms is dangerous.
And here you have a representation of that, man. Anyway, she continues. That's how I found you. What stood out is that hip hop was something my husband and I never shared, so it felt like a new space I could claim for myself. A space without constant reminders. I quickly started watching your content and found myself truly enjoying it.
See, would I be a sick guy to like not to be? Would I be a funny guy to be like, oh, this is what we doing? Would I be a funny guy for that? We all impact. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but would I be a funny guy to break the positive moment? I think I would. But I like everything he's doing. Once again, I don't mean it in no malice. I'm just like, oh, I see what we doing. Okay, I got it now. The caption got me, but it goes to show the impact that we have and the influence that we have as people who react to music and in these spaces and shit like that. So that's why I said, would I be a funny guy? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being a funny guy, dog. Like it's the cowboy hat on right now. It's the cowboy hat got me being funny.
You helped me understand what was happening between Kendrick and Drake. You're one of the few voices that felt grounded. Then I stumbled into drill music and artists like Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy. At first, I couldn't believe how violent and raw some of the content was, how death, pain, and gang life were talked about so openly. But I listened more. I started to see the pain behind it. I kept thinking, what kind of life produces this kind of music?
I'm gonna have to Google these little zoom ins here when it gets real dramatic or whatever. I gotta figure that out because I do like that shit. I do like it, but I gotta figure that out though. I'm gonna Google that.
I felt heartbreak for these young men, how they were raised, what they had to survive, and how numb they had to become. I often found myself wishing I could hug them and just say, I see you as human. As sons, as brothers, kids, just trying to survive. As I kept watching the hip hop space, I also noticed the way white people were spoken about, or were sometimes spoken about, I'm sorry. The generalizations, the frustration, the anger. I didn't take offense because I get it. Racism is real, even if I haven't personally seen it in my own life. I won't pretend to know what it's like to walk in a black man's shoes, but I want you to know there are people like me who care deeply and want better for everyone. When Charlie Kirk passed away, I saw some of the same creators I followed start mocking his death. That really jarred me.
Which is, once again, very disgusting. And once again, I think the overall point is that we're focusing on, from his perspective and his algorithm and his angle, is the people that was mocking his death. That powerful statement by this lady, though.
I didn't even know who he was until I started researching him after the reactions. And like you, I found that so much of what was being said was taken out of context. Watching people celebrate someone's death reminded me of the same mentality I saw in the drill music world. An op is an op. That deeply bothered me. Bro, that's bars, bro.
Ah, man. Slippery on these little angles here, but I support the positivity and stuff, but we're slippery here on what I've stated the whole time is like we angleizing things and categorizing things a little bit, but I get it though. It's positive. It's powerful. Music is powerful.
That's bars, dog, but I can already hear people that are not going to even
I guess
be
that's
willing
me
to
right now.
entertain something from someone else's perspective, just brush it off like it ain't nothing. You white, what the fuck you know about a op? You know what I mean? When
It ain't even
she
about the op.
enjoys the music, that's what reeled her in.
It's really ain't about the op thing. It's just like I think we just utilizing things for a certain way, which I get the spread the positivity, but it's still
Someone else's perspective, just
fuck.
brush it off like it ain't nothing. You
Fucked up
white, what the
again.
fuck you know about a op? You know what I
Gonna
mean?
hate me
When,
again.
she enjoys the music, that's what reeled her in, and she can empathize and sympathize and try to understand as much as she can, bro. And that's real, dog. And op is an op. It don't matter. It does not matter.
I guess I'm doing it, dog. So my only thing with this is like, Young Boy and Lil Durk, like every artist kind of does and has like certain topics that they rap about and rap on. Like that's the drill rap. That's the drill rap scene. Like it's not all rap is that. You know what I'm saying? And then, to Stevie's point that he does try to make, and this is why I like to have these discussions, because while I'm listening, he's saying this, and music is powerful, and Kendrick literally raps about the black struggle, right? Don't he rap about the black struggle and stuff like that? And like little things like that, and inspiring and bringing us together and all. This is just going from what I've been listening to. Maybe I'm hearing things incorrectly. This is why we here in the chat talking a little bit too. But ain't that like the same thing?
Yeah, I mean,
because I ain't mad at the lady's message at all. Because like I like what she has to say. This ain't even really that. This ain't even about nothing that what she has to say. But listening to just what I've listened to in the last few days, which have been full videos, full statements, not clips. With her using that, and then you're using what she said in regard, and then her build up. I'm just like, well, Kendrick Lamar rapped about these things that you semi went against or semi had a different stance, or not went against, because then I don't want to be taken out of context, but where you had a different take and a different stance on what Kendrick would rap about, I guess is how I'm looking at it.
And sympathize.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Try to understand as much as she can, bro. And that's real, dog. And op is an op. It don't matter. It does not matter. You know what I mean? That deeply bothered me.
Let me play it back though, because I did get a little. This is a lesson for us all right now. I did get a little. Where is he going with this? So I kind of missed his point.
Even be willing to entertain something from someone else's perspective. Just
nah, I need to play it a little bit further back.
Said was taken out of context. Watching people celebrate someone's death reminded me of the same mentality I saw in the drill music world. An op is an op. That deeply bothered me, bro. That's bars, bro. That's bars, dog. But I can already hear people that are not going to even be willing to entertain something from someone else's perspective. Just brush it off like it ain't nothing. You white, what the fuck you know about a op? You know what I mean?
Play his whole statement back all the way for that, just so I can fully understand.
What stood out is that hip hop was something so put off by Kendrick Lamar. At least that's the narrative I saw on my feed. Whole Kendrick, Drake, their beef, and then the world of hip hop reaction videos. And that's so ironic, bro, because the way certain parts of social media will run it, white folks were so put off by Kendrick Lamar. At least that's the narrative I saw on my feed quite a bit. I mean, okay, there may have been some.
That's why I had to play it back. So I'm assuming that he didn't really rock with the performance or whatever either. If that's what he saw, then so never mind. I take back what I was getting at then, because all right, cool.
But I guarantee you, the majority of people enjoyed that shit, dog. That's why Kendrick went as viral as he did, bro. And here you have a representation of that, man. Anyway, she continues. That's how I found you. What stood out is that hip hop was something my husband and I never shared, so it felt like a new space I could claim for myself. A space without constant reminders. I quickly started watching your content and found myself truly enjoying it. You helped me understand what was happening between Kendrick and Drake. You're one of the few voices that felt grounded. Then I stumbled into drill music and artists like Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy. At first, I couldn't believe how violent and raw some of the content was, how death, pain, and gang life were talked about so openly. But I
Which is
listened
facts.
more.
Which is facts.
I started to see the pain
That's why I had to
behind
play it back.
I kept thinking, what kind of life produces this kind of music? I felt heart.
That's facts. That's facts. I mean, it's the environment, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't help the environment. Sometimes the only thing we can help is getting out that shit. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying we, like I'm in it, but like, you know, I speak for the culture, not for the culture because I don't want to claim a whole thing, but I'm speaking for what I see within our culture. Like, until you get out of it, you can't help where you're placed. You know what I'm saying? So she has valid points. Once again, valid points.
Heartbreak for these young men, how they were raised, what they had to survive, and how numb they had to become. I often found myself wishing I could hug them and just say, I see you as human, as sons.
But let's say that like that's a particular space, and it's not. It might be every trap, you know what I'm saying? But I think like the specific guys they just mentioned, it's like they were happening to be beefing with each other too. And like Chicago and Chirac got its own little thing that was going on for like 10 plus years that was kind of a little bit different from like other hip hop in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Because hip hop has a lot of subcategories in my opinion. I think hip hop needs to start having subcategories too. You know what I mean? Trap, rap, hip hop, you know what I mean? All of that stuff. So I'm always a believer in hip hop should have different categories for reasons like this as well too, where we don't have to lump everything all into one, because there are aspects of hip hop that are, you know, not good. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like mumble rap, so people cannot like trap rap where they promote killing each other and super disrespectful gang violence and smoking on ops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Boston rap culture kind of adapted that too. So I don't disagree with the angle here at all. I just had to go like, oh, I thought this was going to be a little different with the music is powerful, but it's more or less he's going with the music is so powerful that I inspire somebody angle that we all go about to continue the dude's name thing. You know what I mean? I'm just not trying to mention it too much, but I like the positive angle here. He's trying to bring a positive light here. I'm trying to see through it too without being like, well, damn, did you just do this to do the self-praising thing and self-promotion thing, which is like, all right, cool. Like we all have those same stories, so it's like it's cool. I like it, but I got opinions, bro. I got opinions. I ain't got the hat on no more. I got fucking opinions, man.
Brothers, kids, just trying to survive. As I kept watching the hip hop space, I also noticed the way white people were spoken about, or were sometimes spoken about. I'm sorry. The generalizations, the frustration, the
I'd like to know why you do air quotes on white people and something else that you did. Why are we air quoting things? Are you trying to not debunk, but are you trying to like cast? Because if that's the angle that you're trying to go and like try to get rid of like even considering people black and white, I don't necessarily disagree with that too. If like your stances were all human and shit, so white people and black people, I don't mind that. But I would like to know why the air quotes happen like that.
I also noticed the way white people were spoken about.
Unless she quoted
were
it in her
sometimes
statement.
spoken about. I'm sorry. The generalizations, the frustration, the anger. I didn't take offense because I get it. Racism is real, even if I haven't personally seen it in my own life.
And the key part is the generalization.
I won't pretend
you know what I mean?
to know what it's like to walk in a
We
black
have to
man's
stop
shoes,
generalizing.
but I want
Generalizing
you to know there are
a
people
lot of
like
shit.
me who care deeply and want
We
better.
all
for
have that
everyone.
problem.
When Charlie Kirk passed away, I saw some of the same creators I followed start mocking his death. That really
Which
jarred
is disgusting.
me. I didn't even know who he was until I started researching him after the reactions. And like you, I found that so much of what was being said was taken out of context. Watching people celebrate someone's death reminded me of the same mentality I saw in the drill music world. An op is an op. That deeply bothered me. Bro, that's bars, bro.
See, it's bars, but like, I mean, fuck, man, like, I guess I'll leave it alone.
That's bars, dog. But I can already hear people that are not going to even be willing to entertain something from someone else's perspective. Just, brush it off like it ain't nothing. You white. What the fuck you know about an op? You know what I mean? When, she enjoys the music. That's what reeled her in, and she can empathize and sympathize and try to understand as much as she can, bro. And that's real, dog. And op is an op. It don't matter. It does not matter. You know what I mean? That deeply bothered me. The way people are using Kendrick's line, "Let the party die,"
Agreed, Catalyst.
as if it's some kind of prophecy or celebration of Kirk's death. She's tapped in, bro.
Wait, huh?
She
Huh? Hold on. What
let the
happened?
party die. It does not matter. You know what I mean? Some kind of prophecy or celebration of Kirk's death. She's tapped.
Damn, people are doing that? See, once again, our algorithms is kind of different because I ain't never seen that. I don't think I ever seen that. That's news to me. That's news to me, y'all.
In, bro. She's tapped in, bro. That's tough.
But what she tapped into?
I really hope that's not what Kendrick intended. He struck me as someone who challenged the culture, not someone who encourages celebrating death. I don't recall seeing Kendrick retweet
Oh nah, see, this is the problem. Okay, I'm glad he's kind of defending it though too, because I'm like, nah, why don't? But once again, we looping something that came out last November or whatever, or before the Super Bowl or whatever, to this. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Just cause there's creators and people that are taking quotes from songs and stuff like that, don't loop that to hip hop or Kendrick. Loop that to the people that are saying it. Loop that to the people that's been saying it, dog. Like, don't tie that in the same. But I'm glad he's kind of defending it. But that's what I got to say on that. That's crazy. He better defend that all the way and be like, nah.
or post that lyric.
Fuck his post.
Kirk's
song ain't got nothing to do with it.
Damn song was in the midst of the whole Drake beef, man. So y'all gotta inform me if he really did that, bro, because that's crazy. Anyway, I really hope that's not what.
Just gonna look at the camera on that one. Just gonna look at the camera for that.
Kendrick intended. He struck me as someone who challenges the culture, not someone who encourages celebrating death. So I'm at a loss on if I should continue to support his music or not. Anyway, I wanted to thank you specifically. You're the only reactor I kept following through all this. You speak with honesty, integrity, and thoughtfulness. I've seen the comments people throw your way, and part of me just wants to jump in and defend you. Your voice matters, your perspective matters, and you're helping people like me. People you never expect. Find a little light in the darkness. Bless you and your family. Thank you for being a voice of reason and truth in a space that desperately needs it. P.S. I'm starting to catch bars before you do. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I just feel like that's needed, bro. You know what I mean? And I hope a message like that will move people
Exactly,
that don't
bro.
agree. I ain't even gonna say agree, but just have so much animosity and so much hatred for people that think differently than you. You're keeping people like this away. You know what I mean? That just want to look at everybody as human, bro. You know what I mean?
That part right
just
there.
Don't look at everybody as human.
Human. Everybody's
right?
human.
When we
that's
put
important.
Race on everything and demonizing people for everything and just so prideful and so egotistical in our point of views and are unwilling to entertain other people's perspectives, period, outside of people that align with your own, you're going to prevent yourself from talking to people like this, bro. You know what I mean? People ask me how was I able to go from how I viewed life before when I was a victim and I lived in my little black box to where I am now, bro. And it was due to YouTube. I say that all the time, YouTube.
I said that.
Taking in, but actually taking in and listening to other people's perspectives, from.
So none of that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? As far as listening and taking other people's perspective. But with that, you've taken it and then you're like, well, what y'all are thinking are wrong. Because sometimes I see the same comments that's only just trying to push into me thinking that I'm wrong and that they're right. So sometimes that's a little jaded in that conversation. So I don't know the details on how those things happen, but, I guess, right? You know what I mean? Like I watched the Stevie and Adam interview, you know what I'm saying? Like I seen certain things and stuff. So I'm just like, all right, like, I wouldn't say you're easily persuaded, but you can have a conversation and then be like, okay, that's what it is, and then go and try to generalize a little bit. that's once again, I think that's where you step wrong at as somebody who listens to you and everything. It's like you come from the good place and you speak on facts. You know what I'm saying? But you speak on facts based off of a reality that's built on what you're used to seeing or what you've leveled up from. Or like you said here and on the other three, it's from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought the internet wasn't a real place. Like it's like you're having conversations with people on YouTube. And that, once again, I said I don't know what type of conversations and how those conversations come about. But if it's just from YouTube, but you wasn't out in the real world trying to have these conversations or whatever, then I'm just a little confused and taken aback on that. Because if it took YouTube for you to open up your eyes and then you come this way, then I'm like, well, what about the real world and the real conversations that you were having with real people in real life that would open up your eyes and think actual humanity too? Because it seems like the people, especially since I've reacted unintentionally, this was intentional as fuck, but unintentionally reacting and just sharing the opinion, it seems like that's what went down from just common observation, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. Positive at the end of the day, because people can talk, and like I say on this channel too, music really should be bringing us together and should be a thing that opens up conversations that may be uncomfortable. Like I live off of be comfortable being uncomfortable. I live off of that motto. So
different backgrounds, different places around the world, different ages, different interests, all that. And music brought us all together. So it didn't matter who you were, what you've been through, what I'm saying, your political alignment, your race, your sex, your gender, bro. I talked to trans, gay, fucking furries, and I've had conversations with all these people.
Furries is funny.
You know what I mean? All around the world, bro. People can't even speak English good trying to get a message across to me because they fuck with the vibe. They fuck with just the what music is able to do. And when you put a race on everything and demonize everybody that doesn't look at the world the way you look at the world, or just solely looks different than you, you cut your legs from up under you, man. You know what I mean? You're not able to live at your most.
See, but I agree and disagree with parts of that statement, because it's like within that same breath, you've categorized a whole group of people and think that they lump into that same belief or category just because certain things that they don't stand on or what you're standing on don't align. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I agree with some and I disagree with a lot, but the overall end game is that I still stand on that same line of just being a human being somebody that needs to strap their boots on. You know what I mean? Being somebody that needs to go out and get it, you know what I mean? But also understanding the different perspectives and that there's different areas in this world that we don't live in, that we don't step in. We're not in other people's shoes. Whether it's black, white, Puerto Rican, or Asians, everybody goes through the same type of thing. You just don't know what people go through. And that's the overall thing. It goes back to, once again, we got to stop generalizing. We can share what we got to share, but the generalizing without understanding perspective is a tough one for me to watch as somebody who listens to Steve, listens to other people, and I just listen and be dipping and sliding anyway, you know what I mean? But
optimal. I mean, you don't know what life has in store for you, man, because you're only looking at it through this fucking lens when you got all this other shit to take into account. I just thought this was dope, bro. I just wanted to share it, bro. Anyway, like I said, thank you to everyone that's been tapping in and uplifting. And first of all, you gotta have thick skin to be doing the shit I'm doing, or anybody that's doing. So good on anybody that's out here,
thick ass skin.
Standing up for what they believe in, what you convicted in, regardless of, the clapback you get from anybody and shit. That can definitely be uncomfortable for people, man. It's easy to have Twitter fingers and spit shit out.
Nah, that's the internet, dog. Like, that shit ain't real life to me. So no matter what somebody's typing to me, it don't really be, it just be like, oh my God, like people really just be lumped into the same category of way of thinking. That's the only annoying part. But shit, dog, if you went through bullying in real life and, you know what I'm saying, just the back of the bus, the late bus, the school bus, and we not talking race here. We talking about just growing up as a kid, just in case people get it mixed up, because we know how people like to get shit fucked up and mixed up over here. But if you gone through shit as like a kid in the 90s, in the 80s, maybe the early 2000s, like this shit ain't nothing, dog. That's why I be laughing about how people kind of react to things on the internet a little bit. But that's another thing. Like different generations are all lumped together, and we use this one thing called the internet. It's crazy.
Out when no one's gonna hold you accountable, bro. But like if you out here really, standing for something, bro, you gotta have thick skin for it. So please believe your boy is, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this at this point, man. But appreciate everybody tapping in. Appreciate everybody for the good words, motivating words, empowering words, dog. And this shit ain't gonna stop, man. Yeah, I mean, we need shit like this, bro. We need a space like this, and we need to, take breaks from, just entertainment and talking about what's going on and what piques our interest to life, bruh. Just real life shit, dog. This, people's lives are going to change dramatically from this, bro. From your perspective, the trauma you're going through.
Sadly, this ain't nothing but a rerun. That's the only sad part about this is like, as we're in the now, it's like we're saying all these things, but like if you really, once again, if we want to talk about if we've really been paying attention, sadly this shit ain't nothing but a rerun, dog. And we keep flipping onto the same station, dog, and tuning into the same channel every single time. We as humanity, as a society, as civilization, need to stop playing this same tired ass game, despite where we are at on the opposite sides of the spectrum here. That's my end game. Finish it up,
the
Stevie.
change you're going through
Hurry up.
daily, bro. Like, you got to be aware of what the fuck's going on right now, dog. This ain't just, this is just a viral moment right now and you waiting for the next shit to pop off. No, dog. Like, this is going to be embedded in your mind forever, right? It's going to have impact on you forever. People are going to have PTSD from this, right? So we can't just ignore it and get, all right, Kurt got killed. What's next? You know what I'm saying? That's the whole part of the problem. We get desensitized to it. Right, social media is constant feed of something going on. Nah, bro, take a break. We gotta talk about this. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about this, bro. And
hey, you're right. I will say, I mean, shit, man. You made this video how long ago? And I'm gonna go there again. But I like to see that if we keep the same energy here. Oh, you did this 11 hours ago, so that news came out. So if we really want to be as humane, like we got to speak on what happened to our brothers and sisters, that brother in Mississippi too. You know what I mean? It's been real quiet about that. You know what I'm saying? That like if we talking about humanity and society and morality, dog, like everything's happening, but we just focusing on one thing too, and that's kind of the sad part about this thing too, is that we focusing on like this the only thing. There's plenty. If we outraged about this, we got to be outraged about it all too. We really got to be outraged about it all. And we're not sitting here trying to be like this means more than the other, but it has to be equal opportunities here. We got to be equally as mad. As a society, we like to pick and choose when to be mad, when things bother us, when things affect us. And if it don't, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because in all honesty, if we was really on some like unified shit as like humans, because humans we don't think that yet. We will be talking about everything, both sides, all people. And the amount of people that I see, and this goes for example, and I hate to go there, but we have to in these real life conversations. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. I see all black folks talking about the kid that got lynched in Mississippi, and it's real quiet and this is my algorithm, what I've seen is real quiet from like, white folks that I know that's been super online, super heavy about set issues, white issues. I'm gonna do the Stevie right now about like white issues, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying. So we still ain't there at all, you know what I'm saying. We still ain't there at all because, like he said, there's so much going on. Boom, 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 boom. Let's take a step back. Boom, 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 boom. But we now have this set of violence, and we have another set of violence. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do, but we still choose to ignore what we want to ignore. You see what I'm trying to get at? Do y'all understand what I am trying to get at? You know what I mean? We ain't there yet as a collective. And his narrative, which I respect his narrative, and I respect his take and his approach here on trying to spread the positivity. But me personally, I feel like the positivity is spread for a favorable side. That's just me being honest. I'm not being oversensitive to it because I keep saying I agree with certain things that he's saying, but even within certain language and words and descriptions that he's using, it seems like he's still leaning towards believing what the one side that he favors believes rather than just being like, let's just set that aside and come together. He says that, but it's blended with a lot of that, like, I'm still leaning to what I believe in, and y'all need to believe what we believe in, and what me and this lady sent to me believe in, because see, look, she sent this to me, and I have my space, so what makes you think that that's not right? My space is growing because of that. No knock on that. That's great. Keep growing, keep excelling, keep propelling, But I don't know, it was something about how that felt to me, where it's like I saw the intent, but I also seen something else, and that's just kind of me being an honest person about it from my observation. Like, I don't knock it because it still puts it out there, but it's still catering to the people that believe what he believes in, and he has a whole other audience that I'm sure is listening and being like, I feel a little isolated or something. You know what I'm saying? Not because they're not trying to deny the truth, because like I said, I believe in a lot of what he's saying, but I also disagree with just the approach of what he's saying. So that goes to show that, like, you don't know how people really think and perceive things outside of this one person and many people that may be sending stuff to you or whatever. But I'm pretty sure you're not getting into every single one. You got a million, dog. So with that million comes a lot. But you might be having somebody feel like you don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Because of the language and how you're putting this out there. You know what I mean? And it's not saying that it's negative, but you're still not bringing people together, in my opinion, because the overall message is too clouded with, like, you know, my beliefs, my generalizations, and everything. But I hope we still, once again, the more we keep doing this, the more we keep talking, we're gonna get better and see through it. And having a real conversation isn't like talking at the screen to people and then waiting for the comments. Having a real conversation as well. That's why I'm like, I like talking to people. Like, I'll really talk with you. Is doing like what y'all like to see me do when I do my BITO'S Couch Potato podcast. Is I be on the screen talking with people, and it's a real inline conversation where we're just going off each other. There's no script. There's no nothing. It's like, all right, we're here, mano y mano. We can talk about this. And y'all know I can have conversations and not, get into the back of. I know I can duck myself in a conversation in a serious matter and everything. Hence why we're here right now. But I don't disagree with Stevie all the way, but I ain't agreeing with Stevie all the way, man. You know what I'm saying? This was he got me with the caption. I'll say that. He got me with the caption. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was gonna be more about how music is powerful. Where I thought like maybe he was gonna talk about a song or some lyrics or something like that. But nah, it was more about somebody praising him about how impactful he is, which is fine. You know what I mean? It's the way to do it. You know what I mean? We all get those. It's cool, but maybe we'll have that conversation one day if he's ever up for it. Don't feel like I'm trying to hate on him or whatever, because I really be wanting to chat with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even if we got different opinions or whatever, I be really wanting to chat. And this ain't even a video to chat. Trust me, I done said this shit well before it got thick. So this ain't even about that. That's never my moves, never my intent. But I will have my opinions on things, and if it catches my eye like it did again, well, nope, this was intentional, but it caught my eye though, and I said I'm gonna say this shit. But yeah, I mean, shout out Stevie. You know what I mean? I'll still be watching homie shit. I don't unsubscribe even if we do disagree with, angles or whatever. But, this is why I like to watch things, because I'll be a soft bitch to unsubscribe because I don't agree with what he say. I'll be real moist if that was the case. But let me see what y'all got to say. This was fun. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, chat. This was great. We out of here. Peace. Chat. That was fun. I even went well over what I was